Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. How's everybody doing today? Happy Friday to all. Thank you guys once again for tuning in as usual. Today's kind of interesting because I don't really like much. So we're kind of, I don't want to say we're tossing together a watch list, but these are going to be the three main stocks that I want to keep an eye on, but everything else seemed to be kind of, a little iffy, a little off. Wasn't really a big fan with much that was going on today. So, possibly, that could be due to it being Friday or just going to be a slower day. So I'm hoping it's not. But ironically enough, I always come to find that on the days that seem slow in the morning, they tend to be actually really good trading days. And then the days that tend to be really busy pre-market actually tend to be more of a harder day. And arguably that might just be because you have so many things to watch at one time that it becomes hard to focus. So we'll see. FCL doing good. I'll take a quick peek at FCEL. It's probably just more of like a bounce day that's gonna fade pretty soon because I think it already had its big run up, so it's probably just a bounce day. Actually, yeah, FCEL is worth watching. I won't trade it, but for some this might make sense. But yeah, this could be worth watching. It's already kind of crashed from 76, and it's got two push days and a higher low. Yeah, I could see that working. Yeah, it's not bad. All right, so we're going to get into sharing the screen here. It's no further ado. All right. So anyways, this was the FCEL chart I was just looking at, but ideally the long play is going to be over like 43 cents, 45 cents. If it can get up and over that, that's the long play. The pre-market high from today and then this little down drop from that day, that's your buy point, or that's your big long push starting point, shall I say. Okay. ADVM. No, I ended up not trading ADVM during the day. My trades yesterday ended up being on ZS. I ended up trading ZS on the first 1 minute candle. Usually I don't do that, but I just understood it pretty well. So I traded on the first 1 minute candle. I made like 500 or 600 bucks. It just pushed up real fast. I took off majority of my position, held 500 shares, and then kind of took my 500 shares off just before we broke down this red dotted line. But long story short, I got in, and then I could just feel that the momentum wasn't strong enough to continue pushing the way we wanted, so I ended up taking it off. Still made money on it, but it's really not a trade you want. Sure, made 500 bucks, which is good, but that's not what you want to be trading. You want to be going long into a position that it just comes back down. You want to go long and then have it keep ripping, right? So ended up trading, I traded yesterday, ZS, Apple, right? Yeah, ZS, Apple, and AMD. Yeah, I made like 180 bucks on Apple, and then I made like 40 bucks on AMD. So nonetheless, ended up being a pretty decent trading day. So this is actually still on watch. I don't think I put it up there, or I did. So we'll just discuss ZS. ZS is the same thing as yesterday. Again, it's a long play over the 50-50, and that's pretty much just it. Really, if we can kind of keep grinding back up like we are and get over 50-50, then we can go into a nice kind of long, bullish running day, and that's what I'm looking for. We started it yesterday, and I'm not going to lie. Yesterday was probably too soon. Obviously, you can see that. Normally, they don't go on this day, but I always watch them just in case because I've seen a few scenarios where they do have a really good day, kind of second day after earnings. So I want to see it, just try it out. And it worked for a second, but now if you look at it, it's more of an inverse head and shoulders formation. Ready? So down, left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Or if you want to get more technical, it's down, left shoulder, left armpit, head, right armpit, right shoulder, break above armpit level there, or neckline. So still watching this for a long move over the 50-50. If we can get it, it'll be nice. Okay. Let's see. Wilk, so I can see your comment here. Yeah, I can show that. It's all good. People just, I mean, trade news makes the market move, so that's why people are specifically like interested in it. AVGO, haven't seen that stock in a while. We'll take a look at ENPH. Let me write that down. That'll be better to do. ENPH, someone said AVGO. NSCC. I can already say by the name of the ticker, it sounds like something I wouldn't trade, but that's all right. ARDX, we can talk about that. I've already seen ENPH many times, seen ARDX, haven't seen the other two. GDX is gold, so we're pretty caught up on that. Glue looks like he's going to try and close the gap. Sure, we can take a look at that. Tony, you do sound like a nerd, and I love it. Maybe we'll take a look at SQ. I don't want to take too many requests, or else we'll never be able to get through them all. All right, so let's go on to the next one. I'll hurry up and get through my cool watch list, and then we can run into your guys. So MTSL, I mean, this is, it's already moving up pre-market. That figures, not cool. It's kind of shitty, but you usually don't get what you want when it comes to these. So anyways, pretty straightforward here. MTSL has decent volume. There wasn't really any specific news targeting any aspect of like something new happening in the business. I believe really it was just kind of, it sounds stupid to me saying this, like a leak of information, but it really wasn't. It was just the CEO coming out and discussing some of their, was it current year or following year? I got to go down a little bit more. I'm going to sound like an idiot. Okay, so nope, that's not it. Nope, that's not it. No, not that. It's not that. There it is. They're basically discussing their sales year over year before their earnings report. So they're just kind of giving insight into how their business is already doing before an earnings report is what it seems like. And traders are respecting it. So you can already see it's grinding up pretty decent right now. And actually, I will say this, that the movement of the stock and the formation of each candle, it looks good. This is definitely something to keep your eye on today. It's got enough volume, so it meets the criteria for volume. We're pushing into a new high, and the momentum is still pushed into close to a new high. I won't say it did. So it's not like we're getting a full-on divergence or anything like that. The momentum is still strong as going into this new high. So it's not like we're running into a bearish divergence or anything. So it's a strong candidate. If you look at the yearly chart, we filled the gap. We already filled that gap. Okay, so we are up and over 2. What's the price at? Price is at 244. So we're like right here on MTSL right now, right about. It's 240, 244. Yeah, it doesn't even matter. It's like right here. So this is where we're at currently with the stock. Extend to the left. That's where we're at right there in terms of pricing and charting. So up to the next previous high daily candle here on this chart would be 320. So that would be another 60 cents potential profit or gain. In other words, if you want to go by percentage, that would be 30%, 29%. By the time market opens, by the time you get filled, by the time you exit, you're not going to get the perfect top. You won't get the so here's something also good to do, right? If you're ever analyzing a stock and you go, there's a potential for a 30% gain. Don't bullshit yourself. Let's be realistic here. You're not going to get in at the absolute low point. You're not going to get out the absolute high point. So you might as well just cut that in half and be more realistic and say there's potential for like a 15% gain. Because again, by the time you get in, you're not like for example, right? If more often than not, if you're going to try and get in here, maybe you get in here, but if you wait till market open, you start trading, right? You're most likely not going to be getting filled at the most perfect spot and getting out at the most perfect spot. So again, when you're analyzing a stock, when you see a 30% potential move here, you should be thinking more like 15 to 20%, because the likelihood of you pick pointing every single moment perfect and it actually moving that full 30% is probably not going to happen. So be more realistic. But anyways, it still has potential. It might have more potential than that. I'm not honestly too quite sure. But anyways, so far moving pretty strong. We're gonna watch this throughout the day. Next one on the list was IQ. So somebody asked me about this yesterday. Yeah, somebody asked me about this stock yesterday, and I said to short it. I said to short at the previous high a day. So if you look, you got up towards the previous high a day, ran into a perfect short. I didn't play it, but anyways, we topped out right there, consolidated, held really well. Very nice consolidation day, and now we're kind of gapping up a little bit today. This is into a 2-day long developing bullish pennant kind of formation, and this is worth watching. Long bias for now. If you look at the daily chart, we are right at the 200 moving average. So we can see that the 200 EMA is resistance. So ideally, you can have a long play out of this wedge, and then from there, you'd love to see it go over like 2025, right? Or of course the previous high a day there. So that's really the main goal, is to kind of get a long play out of the wedge over the past 2 days, and then up and over 2025, and then aiming more towards, these previous highs. But it won't move up towards 22 because the average true range of IQ is about 80 cents to $1. So from where we're currently at, it's 20. To go to 22, it'd have to move 100% more. It'd have to move 100% more than its average true range on the day, and the likelihood that happens is very slim. So still worth watching though. Still worth watching. Yes. Because I ended up trading ZS. ZS, I believe. What was the watch list yesterday? ZS. ADVM, I think that was the other one, and I can't remember the other guy. But ZS was the one that I traded off the watch list yesterday. Steve, more often than not, there's never going to be options available on a penny stock. They just don't naturally. They're just usually not there. And at the end of the day, you shouldn't really, there's no point of even trading an option on a penny stock, because you can go and get options on large cap stocks for fairly cheap anyways. So, yeah. That's actually kind of the nice benefit of options, is they allow you to get involved with trading some of the large cap stocks with little capital too. P. Only appreciate it. Mr. Igzalo Solo, appreciate it, bud. I really do. I enjoy doing this. Believe me. That's why I'm on here every day. I don't ever get sick of looking at stocks and talking about this. So, this is the ultimate thing to true wealth building. Not necessarily, but it's, again, all right. I got friends. I have buddies that can tell me who's the best baseball player and who can hit the most home runs this year and whatever an RBI is. I really don't even know. I think that's how well someone can hit a baseball. I honestly have no clue. And it's cool. That is literally does nothing for you. You realize that, right? Sports are fun. I love sports. Nothing against sports, right? But in actuality, sports are just entertainment. And if you look back through history, and this, then really sports are just a way to keep the public in check. Actually, that's not even this. It's actually, sports are a way. If you think about it, back in the time, I'm not going to give you a whole history lesson. Just go look back in the Roman times, and the reason they had the Colosseum and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, help kind of give the public something to do rather than outrage. So pretty much any sport, anything entertainment-wise, is just a distraction from overall events that are happening in the world, and it's just there to truly keep you distracted, but at the same time make money and all these other things. But with that being said, there's no reason anybody should really know all the stats about some player on some team, because really it does nothing for you unless you're making money off of it somehow. And then at that point, yes, do that, because that can help you build a future for yourself. But other than that, there's really no reason to. Unless, yes, you can somehow make money from it to, make a better life for yourself, then there's no reason to do it. right? Like there's no way that anybody would ever play professional hockey or football if they're not getting paid decent money, right? I might as well just go run into a brick wall if you're going to pay me $25,000 a year. It's the same thing. LY. Well, this is what you can think of. So LY, you took no trades this week. What's the thing that you can do? Or you're kind of going crazy. Just think about it this way. If you took no trades this week, you're probably doing better than like 90% of the market in retail, as in you lost no money while everybody else maybe did. So it's one way to look at it. Yeah, the Trader Evolution video was awesome, but it was as good as I needed to be. I'm not going to lie. I kind of went off the top of my head with that one, so I kind of want to do another one. I'm actually going to do a couple more, kind of along those lines, more like just kind of like talking on experience, but that was fun. But there's a lot of insight that you can learn from not only me. I mean, there's a lot of traders out there that you could maybe watch a video on, read a book, but I mean, but that's it. I mean, that's the tremendous insight that you can get from someone from doing it. I mean, and it's just like after you do this, after you trade for so long, it's like you just kind of develop the mindset of a trader. You become one with the market, so to speak. You're not like a genius, but you just learn how to maneuver the market. You know where the bullshit's at, you know where the good stuff's at, and that's really the hard part for people to wrap their head around. And you'll fight it, you'll constantly fight it every once in a while and think that you know best and then you'll get smoked by the market again and it'll keep whipping your ass and then eventually you'll smarten up on it. Trading for 6 years now. It's basically 6 years. All right, I'm gonna do this. 1 second. I'm gonna run through all the stocks that I have listed down that people wanted me to do. So again, be ready because we're gonna run through this very quick because we don't have that much time. So first one we were talking about, or first one was asked, was ENPH. So if you look at ENPH, we've been wanting to buy this. This is actually probably worth following long today. I'll say this: it's worth following long first. If it fails, then I'd watch it short. But first, watch long. Blah, blah, blah. Long story short, we had a gap here on this earnings push. The gap just got filled. Typically, when you get a gap fill like this to the downside, you'll see a bounce, or vice versa. If you have a gap to the downside and it gets filled, wait, I already said that. If you have other way around, if the stock's going up into a gap fill, it turns into a short play. So anyways, stock comes down, fills this gap. You typically look for a bounce. The only reason I'm not concerned with looking for a bounce anymore is because Citron Research, which is a pretty credible source in terms of market things and research, he came out with a hit piece, and he's a short-selling trader, bearish trader. Long story short, he doesn't like the stock and he thinks the stock's gonna go to $7, yada, yada, yada. So really, when you have that type of negative news coming into your buy level, you really don't want to buy anymore. So I'd be more hesitant to buy because that news piece came out. Look at all the selling volume coming in there. Okay, cool. All right, on to the next one. And that is going to be AVGO. AVGO, $280 stock. Cool, cool, cool. I would not be a buyer let me check the 4-hour chart. Yeah, wouldn't be a buyer today considering we just came up and tapped into this the first time. Again, first attempt never really breaks out, so we just came in, hit resistance. I'd be more inclined to watch a pullback and or consolidation for the next week or so on that. It could break up over, but again, remember, when you come down and you go right into resistance, first attempt at resistance usually never breaks. It's usually the second or third. And a good example of that would be this right here. See this? First, you have this high, comes down, first attempt, what's it do? Sells off. Okay, so now you have this high, comes back up, first attempt, sells off. Look at high here, comes down, first attempt, sells off. Ready? High here, comes down, first attempt, sells off. Okay, high here, down, first attempt, sells off. Then it was finally the fourth attempt we broke out and started moving. Okay, so there's plenty of examples of that all over the place. So again, first attempt probably wouldn't be long buys on AVGO for the current time being. All right, NSC, $35 stock, just bounced off support, so you're kind of already late on the move. I would still be more long biased than I would be bearish for the short-term perspective on the stock because we're coming off a bounce. But since it's already started bouncing, I wouldn't be inclined for swing trading it right now, but I'd be more inclined for watching it for a day trade. Yeah, that's really all I got to say on that one. Okay. Next one is ARDX. So ARDX is a penny stock that's been kind of up for about a couple weeks now. It's an easy to borrow stock. So if you have Thinkorswim and you're on a margin account, you'll be able to short this. It's not a hard to borrow stock like most penny stocks. So you can short this because it is easy to borrow. And we do have a bearish divergence here on the chart that I've been following for the past couple weeks. So long story short, I'm debating actually shorting this today. It's not on the watch list, but I didn't put it there. But long story short, I've been thinking about shorting this stock because of the bearish divergence and the fact that it is a penny stock that just came from about $2 all the way to $6. Most oftentimes, penny stocks will crash, but considering it's an easy-to-borrow stock, that market makers have been squeezing up shorts and keeping it up longer than it would typically be if it was a hard-to-borrow stock. Some of you guys won't know that because you've never traded hard-to-borrow stocks, and most of you guys probably don't short sell stocks that are hard to borrow anyway, so you probably wouldn't know that, so it's a good thing you learned that. Long story short, I'd probably start getting short bias on this stock at this current moment in time. Yeah. And then there's the last one, which is GLUU. All right, GLUU. Yeah, that's actually been a really good bounce. I would not be long bias on it today. Maybe, let me double check. 5-day, 5-minute. Yeah, I don't think I'd be long bias on it necessarily today, and the only reason being is because it just got to the 50 moving average. More likely than not, 50 moving averages do hold as a good resistance. That is this red line. So I would be more inclined to watch a pullback and then maybe a long play after the pullback. But you can already see it bounced really well. So again, down here was the buy level. Right now is a short-term sell level, but you are into a gap fill. Remember how we're talking about gap fills? A lot of stocks like to fill their gap. So at some point in time, this will usually come back and fill the gap up to 7. But the only concern is that this is right now a downtrending stock. So I don't think we're going to see the gap fill happen very easily. So right now I'd be short-term sell and then maybe a buy. All right, cool. Yeah, I'll look for divergences on a 5-minute chart, 1-minute chart, daily charts, 4-hour charts. Yeah, and I miss them all the time. They happen. Excuse me. They happen all the time. Like if you go look at Roku had like the most picture perfect divergence, and I missed that. That was the day of the short, the big short. So we go look at Roku here on a 4-hour chart. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Right here. Look at that. This was that day. We got the pullback, and then look at this. We pressed into a new high. Look at that divergence. It was perfect, and I missed it. And then it just got smoked. I missed that one like an idiot. And actually, Roku now morning, looking at this chart, kind of looks like a short trade. Yeah, you might even watch Roku short today. I don't have a top 3 setups. There is no top 3 for me. No, yeah, so that again, like I don't, for example, there will probably never be a moment in time. I mean, I guess I can't say never because it is a great marketing tactic. So if I ever go into that aspect, but I don't honestly think you'll ever see me make a video of like maybe, I don't know. But again, I'm not really for the whole 3-step strategy because again, that's bullshit. And I'm not for the follow my one trading strategy again, because that's bullshit. It's all bullshit. Anyways, again, bottom bounces, double bottoms, double tops, bearish divergence, bullish pennant, breakout squeezes, cup and handles. To me, it's not what's my favorite setup. It's I just like to trade what looks really, really good. It doesn't have a high probability of me making money. So my favorite setups are high probability, good setups that will most likely make me money. So what is my favorite setup is things that are most likely to make me money, right? So let's say you're someone who only, right, your simple 3-step strategy is, or let's just say your one favorite strategy is a bullish pennant. Okay, well then I guess you're going to skip over every good setup of a cup and handle. And if your favorite setup is a bullish pennant, then you'll skip over every great bearish cup and handle or bearish pennant setup there is. So you restrict yourself to trading one setup when I can trade multiple setups. Again, the problem that traders will have with what I just said is that that's so much to look for and so many things to know and be able to analyze and look at throughout a given day that you might get confused and you might take a bad trade. True, right? Don't go out in the market and try to look for every single pattern imaginable to trade. Stick with something. One, get good at, it's not get good at trading it, get good at recognizing it. I can pretty much look at any stock and see a pattern like that, right? It takes me like 2 seconds because I do it so, I mean, look, I do this every single day here. I do every single day in a private group, and then I do it every single day on my own. And so again, I just consistently am doing this all the time. So it takes me like 2 seconds to look at a pattern and go, that's a cup and handle, that's a bearish cup and handle, inverse head and shoulders, head and shoulders. I can see the pattern before it even happens, right? I could look at a stock and be like, yeah, that could definitely form a head and shoulders, a bearish pen. I can see it before it's even happening, right? Not that I'm some crazy mastermind. It's just you do it so long, you just get pretty comfortable with it, and then you'll literally start to see it. Like, for example, if I can draw it like a head and shoulders pattern, people have a tough time recognizing it, but as soon as the stock does this, pulls back, pushes into a new high like that, I'm already thinking head and shoulders pattern, as in all it has to do is come back down like that, and we have a head and shoulders pattern. So all I need is just one move up, one pull back down, one move into new high, and I'm already thinking head and shoulders formation, right? Which is this. Damn it, work. Right? So as soon as half of the pattern's formed, I'm thinking about the other half, right? Yeah, thanks on that. Yeah, if any of you guys ever see that ad that I just put out, give it a thumbs up, share it. You know, it was one of the first ads I've really actually put time into doing, and we're just kind of testing the waters with it, seeing if the whole ad thing actually works. You know, again, you'll probably never see me driving in a Lamborghini or something like that because I just won't do it. If I do a video, I already have a video made out that if I do any sort of video with a sports car, it will be me talking in front of the sports car, but then I'm slowly going to move over to my actual car into the 2008 four-cylinder Cobalt LS stick shift. So we'll start talking, you know, yeah, follow my simple three-step show. You see this Ferrari behind me? Yeah, I just happened to walk past in the parking lot. Really nice car, but come on with it. Let me talk to you guys more about what I do, and then I'll hop into my Cobalt. See, that's something that's true and real, but that's probably something that I would do. But anyways, but yeah, if you see that video on Instagram or something like that, give it a thumbs up, share it around the world. All right, guys. With that being said, I got to run. We're already a little past time here, 9:03. Yeah, other than that, I'll see you guys not tomorrow morning. I'll see you guys on Monday, but I'm going to actually be cranking out a couple videos maybe today and or tomorrow. Actually, no, probably not tomorrow. Tomorrow's a drinking day. It's going to be nice on the lake, so no, not tomorrow. Anyways, I'll be doing some videos later tonight. Probably have some couple uploaded by tonight and or upload some tomorrow and over the weekend. So I think I'm going to do a couple more on some scanners. We also have a high of day scanner and a low of day scanner, custom made for Thinkorswim now. Still playing around with them a little bit, so those should be coming either today and or tomorrow, over the weekend, or next week. And so yeah, pretty cool stuff. All right, guys, everybody take care and have a good day.